Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, but not in that order, Choctaw. All right, we're here for the Ocho, the 8th episode of the podcast. And with me is, as always, the Mr. Bass.
Oh, I got the article.
And we also have the Mr. Johnson.
Oh,
yes. I get an article too.
But is this the Senor Johnson? How do we differ?
Well,
How do we differentiate?
it's Mr.
Because he's speaking English.
It's Mr.
I'm
Johnson.
the resident Mr.
Because he's speaking English.
Yes.
That's how we know the difference.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Right. And, of course, I am a Mr. Crowder.
Hey.
So I
One of
can get a
many.
unique article.
Yes.
All right. So we have a lot going on the show today, and I don't know if you even know of all the people. There's a big old line of people out in the hall. Of course, we got Mr. Johnson on right now.
Yeah, we're just going to go
I
after
popped
it
in
right
front
now.
of them.
We popped into Choctaw Elementary School,
Yep.
and then they're coming over here. Someone's going to speak from Choctaw Elementary School. And we got the coaches show.
Yep, in the drama room.
And Burton,
Mrs.
is
Burton.
coming over.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun show.
Do we have anything else on the show?
I don't think we do. Right
Did I see Burton with a football helmet on?
Yeah, she's going to learn some football.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. All right.
It's exciting.
Of course, the most exciting event that happened last week is I got to eat with my television crew at the Hideaway Pizza in Stillwater.
Nice.
The Hideaway.
And you saved me some. That's all that matters.
And we got the Hideaway Special, which
Yes.
every slice has a different slice. And so I got an artichoke slice, I got a mushroom slice, and I got a, what was it? It was delicious. Artichoke, mushroom, and
Hamburger, sausage.
no. I'd say
Hawaiian.
Yeah, I had the
Oh.
pineapple slice.
Okay.
There we
There you
go.
go.
we go.
Okay, so the big question, though, is everybody always says that's the best of the restaurants. Could you tell a difference between the original and the other franchise locations?
Somehow I can. I don't know why, but I can.
You can?
I can. Yeah.
It's not in the food. It's in the atmosphere
Yeah.
of where it is. Because actually the one in Oklahoma City has more variety.
Yeah.
They have more options. The original is just they do what they do it well, and it has that college town atmosphere.
Right.
It has the pizzeria atmosphere as opposed to a sit-down restaurant.
So here's why I say it's the best.
Okay.
And so I'm going to take myself back
Ooh,
to a young
this-
guy in college. And so me and my buddies were going to the Hideaway. And so it's like, late at night, they're about to close. And so we're just sitting there. And then all of a sudden, this wave of young ladies come into the Hideaway. And they're looking at us kind of like, what are these guys doing? So I think what had happened is they had rented the place out, but nobody said it for us to leave. But there was probably 60 to 70 sorority girls, and it was pajama party night at the Hideaway. So that's why it's always been the best.
Okay. Well, the only good thing that happened to me at the Hideaway, which I'm a little old for a sorority pajama party at this age, but I got my coffee filled several times.
Yeah, they refill your drink. Like,
That's a good thing.
They're
So, yeah,
constantly on it.
But it doesn't have the restaurant feel. It has a pizzeria like local
Yeah,
joint
yeah.
kind of
Right.
feel. So that's what makes it the best.
Definitely
to
the
me.
history.
Are we ready to dive into this?
Let's get into this bracket.
Let's do
right
it.
here.
Let's do it.
First, let's go over who won last week.
Pirates and Wildcats. We had the Pirates going by.
It was a scrappy battle.
And then what happened on the Twitters?
And in the Twitters, the Pirates clearly won.
Okay.
All right.
Easily, 100%.
Oh, wow.
Of everybody who voted for the Pirates.
Nice.
And Sandice Yellow Jackets.
Let's go to it here. In the Sandites Yellow Jackets, it's predictably the Yellow Jackets came out on top, 77% to 23%.
There's a little Sandite fan base going on there.
So there's a little
There
bit of
was a little-
Sandite fan base, yeah.
I don't know who that was.
All right. Well, let's go back to the east side of the bracket.
The East Side.
Ruffers, Chieftains,
Ruffers, Chieftains.
Pioneers, Bombers.
Guys, we've
Okay.
got all human forms here for the most part.
Yeah, except the dog face.
The dog face.
There's the
For
dog
me,
face.
I just got a new puppy, guys, and
Uh,
puppies and dogs have really strong jaws.
yes, they do.
My hands
Marketing.
can attest to that.
What kind of puppy
So-
did you get?
We've got it's a lab pit bull mix,
Oh, that's
and it's feisty.
Oh, yeah, that's what I have.
Is it?
Yeah.
Great.
They are
loving,
Oh yeah, sure.
wonderful
My
dog.
dog loves me to death.
But they have got some real jaw strength.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
You don't
Yeah.
want to tangle with them.
No.
Nope. So that's going to be an interesting matchup.
But it's a
right
good
off the
mix
gate.
to get a little lab in with the pit that calm
is.
it down, make it more of a family dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
we've got the Ruffers versus the Chieftains. The Ruffers, we've said, are the oil folk
right.
who also have the head of a bulldog.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
Chieftains are the highest ranking of Native American tribes, men and women.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go right off the bat, and I'm going to go with the Chieftains.
Oh, bold
I
move.
think the bow and arrow, maybe some spears,
Yes.
arrowheads.
What would a
I think that
Ruffer's
would stop
weapon
them.
be?
It's got to be oil based, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Some kind of tool.
Hammer?
could be a
Like a
hammer.
Wrench?
Could be a wrench, yeah.
Yeah,
big
but that's
wrench.
gonna get you hand to hand.
Of course
I think the Chieftain
I mean-
can go distance. And
Yes.
take him out.
It could be like an F-350. I mean,
Oh,
it's oil based, right? So a big
be.
old truck.
so tool of the trade is the pickup truck.
The pickup truck would definitely be something a rougher would have.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of more thinking about, okay, what would a rougher appear to a Native American? And different tribes are different ways, but I'm thinking of the Navajo. The rougher is not natural, right?
No.
So the Navajo, this is a translation, would call a rougher a skinwalker, a shape changer.
Oh,
And
so there'd be
so
a little fear.
There's going to be
factor.
some fear factor there. There's some mysticism and some.
So you're thinking they're
magic
going to
there.
run?
I'm not thinking they're going to
Maybe-
run.
They could even have a sense of like honor, or see it as a deity type.
Just like with the Hernan Cortez in the
Yes.
Spanish.
Here's
So weapons to me is a wash. It's really
How they perceive these.
how they perceive the situation.
All right, well, you changed my mind. I'm going with the Ruffers.
the Ruffers have maneuvering over land. Ruffers spend a lot of time outdoors, but the Chieftain, I think, is an expert, the expert
Yeah, that's true.
at survival in the open field / wilderness.
Okay. I don't know. I'm going to have
It's
to
a
go
tough one.
rougher.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna
the,
go rougher.
the oil and the dog face.
Especially if
and
you're throwing oil in the face and they can't see.
And the first thing that I could come up with skinwalkers. And, you
Yeah.
see a
It's terrifying.
skinwalker, a shape changer coming at you. I don't know.
Change the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to run necessarily, but they're going to hide. They're going to clear the way.
Okay.
So, Mr. Bass, you're going Ruffers?
I'm going to go Ruffers.
Mr. Crowder's gone Ruffers.
Going roughers.
Majority wins. I'm going to go Chieftains
Yeah, hold on.
on the off chance. Obviously, doesn't
Twitter,
matter.
Twitter Nation maybe
Maybe Twitter Nation gets behind me,
Okay.
Yeah.
and we can pull the Chieftains out.
Yeah.
I think that they've got some wiles about them and some experience and some that would overcome.
Yeah,
Okay.
the mysticism.
Yes.
Just the
All right.
dog-faced oil man. That's
All right.
just a tough thing
It's-
to overcome.
It's powerful.
Pioneers, bombers.
Pioneers, bombers.
Pioneers
Okay.
and bombers.
So you got the spread out land of a pioneer, a hard target for the bomber.
It is.
You know, where are they? Are they actually making contact with their drop zone? So
Well,
does that give the pioneer enough of a chance to retaliate against a bomber from that distance,
and
if that's what we're thinking?
we got to dive deep into what a pioneer is. Is Neil Armstrong a pioneer? Wasn't he the first to explore the moon?
He was.
He's a pioneer. He had a rocket.
He did.
I mean,
But was there a weapon on that?
But
rocket?
who is on the side of the bus of Stillwater High School?
it's not Neil
It's
Armstrong.
not Neil Armstrong.
No.
It's a guy with no rocket.
Yep.
He's got a
Just got a
musket.
musket.
He's got a musket.
He's
And
got
I
a
don't think that
musket.
musket could hit a bomber from the air.
They have
You have to
limited range.
Very
Yeah.
limited.
Yeah, so I'm going bomber. I think they
I-
can just drop enough and find him.
My argument for the Pioneer is going to be that the Pioneer has something about him or her that lets them be the first to do something.
It's true.
I think that the Pioneer might just have a chance to pave the way for bomber defeat.
It's
I don't know what that is. I'm no Pioneer.
That is a good point, although I'm going to vibe off that point. They're going to be the first to fight a bomber with muskets and just utterly lose.
Yeah.
We've got an era
I'm going with
issue, a
Bombers.
technology issue.
Because,
I'm going Bombers.
yeah, it's got to be Bombers on this one.
All right, guys. I'll go along with you. The Bombers have a definite advantage.
But this will lead us to a very interesting matchup when we go to our Final Four, because our Final Four is going to be Pirates versus Yellow Jackets and Ruffers versus Bombers. So
I'm just looking ahead at some of those matchups, man, the Yellow Jackets' size advantage, and by size I mean small, while still being large in their swarm,
that's right.
is going to be tough for anybody to match up against. I don't see Bombers being able to take out the Yellow Jackets. Do you?
Well, I'm going to save it for another round.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
All I'm
I'm
saying,
a predictor. I want to see what's going to happen.
all I'm saying is we got a Final Four coming out, and we're going to probably talk about the wild card. And
Yep.
we'll get a wild card team.
We've got the
In the
Wolves
mix.
out there, the Antlers, and the Spartans waiting for their matchups,
All right.
their chance to get back in the ring.
Well, we're gonna have an exciting time going to the Final Four and the wild card, but we're gonna clear this room here, and then we're gonna let the principal from Choctaw Elementary come in, and we're gonna talk with her, and then we're gonna get this show rolling.
Sounds good.
All
We'll
right.
see you guys next time.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. All right, I am here with Mrs. Leidy from Choctaw Elementary. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
I'm also here with C.J. Craig. How are you doing?
I'm doing same old, you know.
Same old, same old. All right. Well, that's good to hear. So we're here, and this is kind of a travel week for us. And so the first thing I noticed when I walked through Choctaw Elementary hallways is it reminds me of my favorite place to go travel, which is the high desert in New Mexico. There's cactuses all over the place. Cacti? Is it cactuses?
Cacti.
Cacti. Okay. I'm a math teacher, so sometimes those grammar things go a little over my head. All right. So tell me a little bit about the cacti in the building.
Well, our theme this year at Choctaw Elementary is We're a Sharp Bunch. So hence all the cacti that you're seeing. And our teachers and students have come up with very clever ways to demonstrate that we're a sharp bunch.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. We came out here special just to see a special teaching technique. And it looked to me like there was patients, but they weren't actually operating, although they had masks and gloves. What were the patients?
Well, our patients today were fictional characters that the teachers asked the students to diagnose and to determine the best way to help the patients to survive. As you noticed, we had the heartbeat machines going, and as you said, the students were scrubbed up with their gloves and had their masks on, and they had to really concentrate on the different symptoms that patients had and then try to use their reasoning skills to figure out a way to help them. So that is our Choctaw Elementary hospital wing at the moment, and I believe that the patients are in good hands.
So is that kind of like doing research, or like a beginning to do a research paper, like the beginning skills? Is that kind of what that was?
It is. They're learning the different aspects of research. Basic skills such as what is a heading and what is a title and where do you find captions and just different, just the different skills that are required.
Okay.
It's a fun way to keep them engaged.
Speaking of engaging, it seems like everything you guys do here is always engaging the children. Is that something you guys focus on to help engage as many kids as possible?
We do. We want to engage all children all of the time. Of course, that's not going to happen every single day, but our teachers strive for that. We know that students learn in different ways, whether it's kinesthetically or verbally or auditorily. What we do is we try to encompass all of the ways that we can teach so that all children are able to learn and to take away from that lesson as best as possible. So it's not just a worksheet on the desk for them.
You know, it seems like you guys always have something going on here at the elementary. Do you guys Have you guys had any big events in the past, or you guys have any big events coming up?
Well, the last 2 weeks we have been pretty swamped with events for elementary. We had our I Walk to School, which we do every year, where we encourage safe walking to school each day, getting our exercise, being healthy. So that day was to focus on safety and walking to school and health. And then we've also incorporated our family reading night. We are a Title I school, and so we reach out to the community and our families and ask them to join us. And we actually did a presentation on helping your child know the pleasure of reading, as well as understanding what it takes at school for reading and how to blend the two so that we have a nice, healthy balance for our students.
All right. I mentioned earlier one of my favorite places to travel. Where are some of your favorite places to travel, and where are places that you would like to travel that, maybe is out of reach at this point?
Oh, personally, I love New York City. I travel there frequently. But I am pretty much an adventurer at heart. I'm glad to go just about anywhere. I think we can learn anywhere that we go from the culture and from the different areas that you see, whether it's landforms or culture. Where would I like to go? Let's see. I have not been to France. I would like to go to France.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is it? I would love to do that.
Love France. My mom went to France her senior year in high school, and she just loved it. Mm-hmm. It was amazing.
I think that would be a fun adventure, as well as Italy. So those are two on my bucket list right now.
All right. Well, as a elementary school parent, my kids go to a different school, but one of the keys that I always tell my friends, how do you know if your elementary school is a good school, is walking through the halls and seeing happy teachers and happy students. You know that the good things are happening, and that's what I experienced and my crew experienced as we were walking through here. Excited kids, happy teachers, and so it's good to see that the Choctaw is becoming a better and better district, and then Choctaw Elementary is thriving and blossoming and doing great according to me, which I'm the expert of me. But
well, I'm glad to hear you say that. I do have quite a few families that come through the door and say they just feel welcomed here and it feels like a happy place, and that to me is the greatest compliment as a principal, that a person can walk into our building and sense that from the very get-go. And that's what we want to have going on here.
Okay. And you mentioned earlier that one of the things that you're most proud of that you have here is your special veteran assembly.
Yes.
Can you let us know a little bit about that?
Yes. I've been here 14 years, and during my first year here, we decided to do a Veterans Day assembly. And it went over so well that we've done it every year since, and I believe most of the district does it as well. But it's very helpful when we're teaching children about patriotism and citizenship, as well as honoring those that have fought for our country and giving them that opportunity to come in and give them that special thanks that they deserve. So it's just makes you so proud on so many levels. You're proud of your students, and you're proud of the members that have served our country and how they can be here as well for us to enjoy their company. It's hard to leave without, well, I'll just say there's hardly a dry eye in the room by the time we finish. Okay. But it's a good event. So I would encourage anyone that wants to join us to come be a part of it.
All right. Well, that sounds excellent. Well, thank you for coming to our studio and joining us today. And we will hopefully have you back maybe next semester.
Thank you. Be glad to.
Okay. Now I see the coaches outside the studio. And so let's go over to the coaches show.
All right, here we go. Coach Corbin show once again on the road. And this time, if you can't tell, we are in the drama room with our regional champs behind us. Let's hear some noise. You can, there we go. All right, so we'll be talking about one-act play here in a second. But first, with Coach Corbin, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about last week's game.
Yeah, and thank you guys for joining us on the Coach Corbin Road Show. We've been traveling all over the state, and by popular demand, we're in the House of Champions right now, so appreciate Ms. Burton having us, and thank you so much for you guys behind us doing a great job. Last week faced a very tough Stillwater opponent, really, really good team, well coached, and I'm really proud of our kids, believe it or not, in a couple of areas that we improved upon. Our kids limited penalties for the most part, kind of came together. And anytime that you have a tough loss, it's almost like sometimes popular culture kind of wants you to like turn against each other. And I was really proud of our kids to see that didn't happen. And when times got tough, we actually came together, and I was really, really proud of our kids because of that. Life, you want to win every game, and I say that sometimes you only learn lessons the hard way, and it's always more fun to not learn them at all. But when you make mistakes, sometimes people capitalize on it. And some bad things will happen, and we did that early. But the kids played hard and continued to fight and stayed resilient the whole game, and I was really, really proud of their effort and proud of our players and coaches. And there's no other team I'd rather be a part of. Moving forward this week, obviously have fall break, which I know kids are excited about, and so we're playing a Thursday game this week against PC West. PC West is a talented team, kind of looking for their first win. Right. They've been tight in some ball games. They've been able to score on some people. They've been able to stop people from scoring, but kind of just having a difficult time kind of putting their whole team together to make a run at rattling off some wins. But they're an athletic team. They're coached well, and it should be a fun night for some football on a Thursday.
Nice. Okay. So obviously we're here in the drama room. Let's talk to Mrs. Burton about obviously the one-act play, regional champs once again, headed to state. And so let's just talk about the play, what you've chosen to do this year, and kind of the success we had on Saturday.
Mr. Bass, we had a great regional. Obviously, we hosted here at Choctaw High School last Saturday, welcomed 4 other schools. We had 5, but one did drop, so 5 total, and we emerged the champions. I'm very proud of the show. It's the Crucible, and we have worked hard to make sure that we understand what this play is all about. It's an Arthur Miller classic. It's a show that I read, obviously, when I was in high school. We probably have all read it. Don't remember what much of it. We know that it's about witchcraft, and that's about it. But it's really so much more than that. It's a powerful show. It's a beautiful show, and it's a scary show. And I'm not talking scary as in the witches that are in it, but scary that this could really happen in our society. It's timely as well because when it originated, it was written by Arthur Miller because of the Red Scare. Do some research on that, and you'll find out, again, McCarthyism, etc. We've talked about that. We've studied it, and so I'm really proud of the kids for the work that they've put into the show, and I think that that's why it's been so successful.
Right, and so we're going to state October 24th?
Yes, we will
Thursday.
be at Putnam City Original October 24th. We have an 11 a.m. Slot, so
Nice.
There will be 9 shows that day. I believe the first show starts at 8, and the last one hits the stage, I believe, at 6 p.m. It'll be a full day of theater. It's free. And so it is a Thursday school day, but that evening, if you'd like to come and watch some free one-act plays, come on down to Putnam City Original.
Right. Okay. So we're merging 2 of my favorite things. We got sports, we got drama, we got acting, and so there's no other way to say that Coach Corbin has been in one of the most prolific watched KJI videos of all time.
Sure.
And so we're upping the stakes this time. So we're going to try to get ready for the next one and try to go even further. So what we're going to do is Mrs. Burton has grabbed a copy of the script to the Crucible, and Coach Corbin's going to read some lines, do some dialogue work with one of the characters. I believe it's John Proctor,
Yes.
played by Garrison Brown, who is an all-star cast regional this Saturday. So it's just a short little snippet. We're going to listen to him read the dialogue, and then Mrs. Burton's going to give some critiques, or some, not more critiques, more of some suggestions of how to interpret this dialogue. Okay.
All right, Coach, you ready?
I don't know. I'm extremely nervous.
Do you know the show?
I don't know the show,
Okay, well, let me
and also
just
I
give
noticed
you-
there's no pictures here either.
No, there's no pictures,
in this
Coach.
book right here for me
No
to look
pictures.
at, and so
I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory that'll help you in regard to the character of John
okay.
Proctor.
I need to know what I'm getting into here.
There
Okay.
are only 2 characters in this particular scene, John
Okay.
Proctor and his wife Elizabeth. John Proctor has just come home late, and Elizabeth not happy about it because she thinks maybe he was somewhere he shouldn't have been.
Okay.
And so in the scene prior, she's been grilling him a little bit about where he's been, and then trying to really put some pressure on him to go and tell the courts things that he knows. And this is a scene where he kind of blows up at her. So
Okay.
that first 2 words is a little bit of a blow up, and now you tell her how you really feel. All right? So take it right there, Coach.
Okay, you
Feel
know
free
that
to-
I'm not a real actor. I play one on the show.
Well, you know what? Just like I tell the
Okay.
kids, do your best,
All right.
or else.
I'm extremely nervous. Yeah, you have the legend here, and I'm extremely
Here we
nervous.
go.
All right. Spare me. You forget nothing and forgive nothing. I've gone tiptoe in this house all 7th month since she is gone. I have not moved.
Why are you smiling?
Well,
This is a serious scene.
well,
Don't smile.
I don't know what seventh month means. What does that
7
mean?
months, Coach. It's 7 months. That's all.
I've never heard of a 7 month. I don't
It's
know.
the 7th month. 7 months. He's tiptoed in the house,
Okay.
is what he's saying.
All right, I'll get
Give me a little
back
bit
in.
more anger.
I
A
know.
little
I'm
bit more
trying.
anger.
The
Here we go.
7th month threw me off.
Yeah,
there.
well.
All right, I'm
okay,
sorry. Okay.
I understand that.
Back from the top.
Start back at the top. Spare me. Come on,
Spare
give
me.
it some more
Give me some
heart.
anger.
Spare me. You forget nothing and forgive nothing. I've gone tiptoe in this house all 7th month since she is gone. I have not moved from there to there without I think to please you, and I still then I'm out of highlighted there. I cannot speak, but I'm doubted. All right, I think the end I kind of really started. I started off a little rocky. At the end, I think I kind of got it. Yeah. And 7th month may go up here, and I may have to reuse that again sometime. So.
Hey, with a little bit of coaching and direction, I think you did a fine job.
Well,
you
I
got
sure
the look.
appreciate it. I appreciate
You got the
that.
look.
I
Proctor.
appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. So now we're going to flip it. We're going to put the pressure back on Mrs. Burton.
Okay.
What?
So I working with her. This is year 7. She will be talking to the kids, and I'm a former coach, so she tries to reference sports, and I'm just back there like, no, that's not how it works. So I think she needs a little coaching about the sport of football.
Okay.
So any kind of things you can give her to understand about the game.
Yeah,
would be good.
we'll just go through one of our kind of basic, what we call a smash concept.
Okay.
All right, and we call it something else that's top secret. What we call it, but it's a smash concept, and what that means is you mentioned you did know some football. You mentioned some words you were coming out with, and
Yeah.
and the corners.
Tight end.
I know. And to me, you have about most of it right there. But the smash concept is basically we're going to try to high-low the corner on a pass concept. And for us, we'll sprint out, which means we move outside the pocket. Our
Maybe
offensive
you need
line
to go
is
back
going
to the pocket. What's the
Okay,
pocket?
the pocket is basically when I catch the ball from a shotgun snap, we call that area the pocket behind.
Okay.
behind
The hot
the
spot, the place where the action
the
is.
hot pocket, if you will.
The hot pocket. Hot pocket. Got it.
She's getting
yes.
this. She's getting it.
Got it.
Yeah. And so we try to get outside the pocket.
Okay.
And so we'll sprint out. Our offensive line is going to be responsible for gaps.
Okay.
And so what that means is if you were the person that snapped the ball, what's called a center, I would be the right guard. He would be the right tackle going this way. You'd be responsible for this side A gap. You'd be responsible for B gap. And then we would move outside and have the tailback responsible for outside C gap. And that's
Okay.
how we kind of communicate that.
ABC.
And then there's going to be the guy that covers the number 1 receiver. And we not jersey number, we number from outside in. And so the first guy is number 1, second guy is number 2, third's 3, four's 4. But the corner will be guard number 1. And so we try to have a high-low concept on the corner on what's really called a smash concept. And so we're going to have a 5-yard, basically a 5-yard out. His job is going to be to get outside the outside linebacker. And then we have a corner route by number 1, and the corner route's job is to get outside the safety. And we tell our guys, if you have the corner route, your job is to get outside the safety, take care of the safety. If they're out, you have to outrun the outside linebacker. And we say, quarterback, your job is to handle the corner, which basically means if he takes the underneath, right? If he comes down, we're throwing the corner concept and the corner route behind him. If he stays and plays the corner, we're throwing the out.
Yeah. So so the field is a stage.
Okay.
Okay. We got stage right.
Stage right is what we're talking about.
That's what we're
in
talking
this
about.
case.
Stage right. We're going to move that quarterback to stage right in our blocking.
Okay.
Right. Those receivers are going downfield. They're doing their blocking, whatever route they're running. They're doing
Okay.
their blocking that they've been taught, and then the quarterback's going to look and see
Which
which
actor?
which actor is going to get the ball.
Throw the prop to.
The prop, the football.
Exactly.
Yes, you got
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. And you got it. You got it.
And that's pretty
Okay.
much the game of football.
That's easy.
Yeah. And
And I-
sometimes they may run it, hand it to the tailback.
Right,
run
and
it.
as a coach, I was saying this, off camera, that as a coach, sometimes, especially on like JV nights, because there's not as much atmosphere and not a band there, and you can't hear as much and all that kind of stuff. You hear some really good coaching points from the stands, whereas coaches sometimes, you'll hear things like call the play that scores. You know, and sometimes we don't think about that. Like, you know, it's like we should just call that play that scores a touchdown every time.
Right.
Sometimes we don't for whatever reason. Also, you hear good coaching techniques and points like tackle that guy. You know, and it's like, you know, and sometimes we're like, are we coaching him not to tackle? Maybe we need to do more of that. And so, anyway, so you hear some good pointers sometimes on different times of, you know, of what we should be doing in football.
Right.
Okay. Touchdown.
Yes. That's
Score the ball.
Score the ball. All right. So our question of the week that we posed here is, since it's fall break, we got traveling going on. You know, for most people, some stay at home, whatever. So our questions are, and you got two options here. Name a place that is like your go-to trip. Where do you like to go for vacation? Or where's a trip or a spot that you want to go that you've never been before? So if you think about some place you usually go, or you can just answer where you want to go. Does that make sense?
I haven't been to my house in a long time. So going home would be nice.
Going home.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Staycation.
All right. That's what you're going to be doing for fall break, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach Corbin.
That's easy for me. Me and my family love to go to Belize. We go there
nice.
quite a bit and been there multiple times, and it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of our favorite place.
That was my second choice.
Maybe retire there someday. We like to go. There's an island in Belize. If you ever get a chance to go there, it's called Key Cocker, and I actually named my second son after it in Key. And
How
and
cool.
It's just really, really cool. And so we've been there. My son learned to ride his bike on that island, and you know, it's just really neat. Me and my wife, I think, have been there 5 times, and it's you know, really unpopulated and really cool, and kind of out in the middle of the ocean. And it's really neat. So
Nice.
we like going there.
Nice.
Will
Okay.
you take me?
I will. Yes, absolutely.
Just
Absolutely.
kidding.
All right. Okay. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. And obviously, fall break. We'll come back next week somewhere. I've actually got some schools that are ready for us.
Yeah,
this
stay
time.
tuned.
Yeah. So I don't know which one we'll hit first, but we're going to be back on the road around the Choctaw School District. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
You guys have been great. Good job. Give it up for yourselves.
Woo!
Good work, guys.
And that will wrap us up for this week. And so until next time, stay classy, Choctaw.